All right, what's good, YouTube? Brother Derek here with another video. Hope everybody is doing well. I thank y'all for watching. All my people that's been coming back, supporting the channel, that's been watching. For all my current subscribers and new subscribers, I thank y'all. Y'all giving me, the drive to keep pushing, to keep making these videos to help you guys. So I hope you guys are getting good information. So, so in this video, I'm going to be talking about the easiest way to get started in real estate. And I wanted to make this video because I want you guys to understand that real estate is not hard. It's not challenging. It will take effort and some strategy, but this is not a hard thing to do. And I wanted to make this video too because, so many people, well, pretty much not gonna say so many people, all of us are participating in real estate on some level anyways. So all of us have to pay rent or pay a mortgage, or we're paying somebody something to live somewhere. So whether or not we want to believe it, we are participating in real estate. So why not make money in it? Because it's something that we all need. Everybody needs, a place to live, a place to rest their head. And I'm very big on investing in things that people need, because you'll always make money if you invest in, real estate. If you invest in, food, transportation, childcare, those things are things that we will always need. These are things that robots can't take over. AI can't take over real estate. In my opinion, AI can't take over, transportation. Well, I guess maybe they actually can't take over transportation, because they are already working on self-driving cars. But I mean, you can invest in the self-driving car. So, what I'm saying? So you can always, at least be in ownership in those things that I named. But like I said, it's not hard. Real estate is not hard. And I'm going to talk to you guys different ways you can get started, because you can do that. Anybody can do this, and you can start at many different levels. You don't have to have a whole bunch of money. You don't have to have, a whole bunch of, properties. You don't have to. You can start wherever you are. You can get started. It will take some money, but depending on how much money you have, will help you determine where you should start. Now, I'll talk about us. You've probably heard my story 1,000 times if you're on my channel. If you are a current subscriber, I thank you. I appreciate you. But I got to keep preaching to this. I have to keep preaching to the choir that this is how we got started. Is house hacking. Now, me and my wife, we weren't married yet. We both were. Well, my wife was living at home. I was living in my apartment, and we heard the idea that you can live for free. So where we live, and where a lot of people live, there are duplexes, or also called as, double houses. So you have two houses, one side, or maybe it's a house and a house up and down, one roof. So it's two houses in one, and there's two units in there. What we did was we bought one of those. We lived in one side and we rented out the other side. So we were able to make money while living in that duplex, because our tenant, whoever was living on the other side or living on top or below us, they were paying a rent amount that covered our mortgage amount. So that eliminated us having to pay rent or mortgage, because we have somebody else either helping us pay it, or paying it, or paying more than it enough for we can make a profit. So for me, I was renting my spot at the time when I first got started for $1,250. My mortgage was $1,017, I believe. So I was making enough money where I covered my mortgage with that $1,250. So I covered my rent. I didn't have to pay nothing, and I had extra $200 minus maybe 190. I'm just throwing a number out there. I had enough money to cover the rent, the mortgage, and enough money to pay maybe my RG&E, my gas and electric, or my cell phone bill. I had enough money where I lived for free, and I had some extra money. And then all the money I had coming in from my job or for whatever I was doing, I could then save, use for other things. So I love house hacking. I love house hacking. And I recommend it to anybody that wants to get started. But not everybody can do it, because you might already have a house. So if you already have a house, then you can't downgrade. I mean, you can, but it wouldn't make sense for you to, if you live in a single family house, it wouldn't make sense for you to move out of that single family house, move into a duplex. No, that's the opposite. What you do is you buy the duplex, live in it, and then you move into the single family or something else, and then you rent both sides of that duplex, and then that pays for itself and for your next, and then your next house wherever you're living. See what I did? You see how that works? See how you just easily transition? So buy the duplex, live in one side, rent the other side. Do that for 2 or 3 years, and then when you're ready to get something else, you move out of that duplex to a single family house, or maybe you just want to move out the country. You then rent out that other side. Now you have two people paying you. One person's covering your rent that they already were covering your rent. The other person is giving you that extra 1250 to use maybe towards wherever you live in now, or maybe it's towards your next venture. But it just, real estate gives you so many options. That's why we love house hacking. And we love just getting the real estate because you don't know what it will bring. So I'll give you guys another example. So my wife, she found her house on a platform called Craigslist. If you guys don't have Craigslist in your country, it might be called the Gigi app, because when we were in Kenya, their Craigslist app was similar to Gigi. That was their app. So we found her house there, and then she was able to buy that house. And then we found out that the neighbors of that house that she bought was selling their house. So now we were able to buy that house as well. So you never know, what you will find. Like, you never know what will happen. Once you get started, you just get in there, other opportunities will present itself. And if she would have never bought that house on Craigslist that she found, then we would never been able to find out that the neighbors wanted to sell their house. So it's just like a domino effect. Like, you just get started and just things happen, and then things lead to another thing. And it's just, that's just how it is. So, but that's one way. That's our favorite way because that's how we got started. But there's another way. It's called rental arbitrage. You can do this anywhere. So rental arbitrage is the cheapest way to get started in real estate because you're not buying the property. So let's give you an example. I have a property that I'm a landlord. I have a property. You want to rent it. So you say, hey, D, I want to rent your property. I want you to put it on Airbnb. And some landlords might say yes. Some might say no. It's 50-50. But let's say I say yes. I'm like, all right, you can rent my property. You pay me $12.50 a month. I'll let you rent it. And bam. So you have to make sure you and the landlord have an agreement that that's okay. Because some landlords don't like that, and some people will rent other people's properties, not tell them what their plan is, because it's almost like subleasing your apartment, which is when you lease it to somebody and then they lease it to somebody else. That can be bad business. So make sure the landlord's okay with this. But from there, you pay me the $12.50. Then you furnish the apartment. You put all the nice furniture in there. You get the nice decor and nice TVs. Put the cameras in there. Bam, make it nice. And you put it on Airbnb, and then you make $3,000 a month. But you still pay me that $12.50. But everything else you keep. So bam, that's called rental arbitrage. That's the easiest way to get started in real estate because you don't have to buy or own the property. You just rent it from a landlord that they're okay with. You furnish it, and then you can put it on Airbnb, or you can do Furnish Finder. There's other platforms, and then you can make money. So that's what I recommend for y'all. So, and also I want you guys to put in the comments below, like, what one of these would you want to try? Like, which one of these, real estate processes would you see yourself getting into? Would it be house hacking, rental arbitrage? And I'm gonna give you guys another one as well, but I want to hear from you guys below. Where would you want to get started? So yeah, because with house hacking, which is my favorite, but you have to put a down payment because you're buying the house. You have to pay closing costs, put a down payment. You will need a lawyer. So my first house, I saved up about $13,000, and I've made that money back several times over. But it's a little more expensive versus rental arbitrage. You just need to pay first month rent, security deposit, and get your furniture. So that might be for me. If they were renting from me, They might need like 2,500, 2,300, and you just get their furniture, and they can get started versus that 16, 15, 16,000, 13,000 to get to buy a house. So it's a cheaper way to get started. But once you get that first Airbnb, you do it, furnish it, you make money. You can then take your profits and do it again. You can find another landlord in another area that's good and be like, hey, you know, I got this Airbnb over here. This is how I'm running it. Would you be okay if I, rented your apartment and I made yours into an Airbnb? And you can show that person the numbers and show them your Airbnb listing and show them how it's doing, how much money it's making, just to give them peace of mind, because some landlords don't like that. They don't like, the rent. Personally, I'm not really sure if I would like that, because I like to know who's living in my apartment, and I don't want people coming in there, that I don't know. And then if you have a bunch of people coming in, everybody treats their apartments or where they stay differently. So, there can be some challenges there. But some landlords don't care. They just want to get paid. As long as you pay every month, it won't be an issue. So that's one way. So get one, scale it, do it again, keep doing it again. And then once you get enough, you'll have enough money where you can then start buying. And that's what a friend of mine does. He had like 30 Airbnbs. He didn't own none of them. They were all rentals. Furnished them, made them nice. He had a good system in place, had a cleaner. Bam, cleaned them, rinsed and repeat. And then he was making enough money where he could start buying apartments without having to do the rental arbitrage. He can buy them. So there's one way. That's a cheaper way to get started. Now the other way is for some of y'all that already own homes. I know some of y'all already have houses and you already been living in your house and you're like, yeah, D, I like all that, but I don't want to live in a duplex. I don't want to rent my house, my whole entire house out. What else can I do to make money? Bam, I got you. Other thing you can do is rent out rooms in your house. And we met an older woman that did this. She rented her rooms in her house to nurses. They're nurses that come to the city that you may be living in to work at your hospital temporarily because they need more nurses. There's a shortage of healthcare staff. So you can put your house on Furnace Finder and you can rent out rooms in your house. Now, it's not for everybody. Some people might not be comfortable with that, but some people are. And you have somebody, you vet them, you check their credit, run a background check. But if you rent to nurses, 9 times out of 10, they won't really be in your house anyway. They'll mainly be at work, because they're a travel nurse, so they're coming to work at a hospital, and the hospital needs constant demand of staff. So they will be at work 12 to 16 hours a day. So they may be in your house for a couple hours to sleep, maybe eat, but then they're back going to work. But their money usually is guaranteed. They're coming there on a contract, and they usually might even get like money, a voucher for rent. So they'll always have a check to give you. So that's one way you can, rent, make some money if you already have a house. Just rent a room out. You can just do one room, or maybe you have a spot in your basement where it's finished and you can just close your access to your house and they can just have a basement, that's finished, that has kitchen, bathroom, all those things, and they don't even have to be in the same living space as you. There's one way you can do it. I've seen people do it, and it can make you money. And it's just another way to leverage what you already have. And that's what real estate is about, leverage. You're leveraging an asset. You're leveraging, what you have, because somebody needs somewhere to stay. And everybody needs somewhere to stay at some point. So you can be on that other end. So that's one way. And if you're in another country, like when we were in Kenya, we were looking at houses that had DSQs. Apartments that had DSQs was kind of like an extra, I guess the best way to put it is like it was an extra living space for like your help or your data. So I'm not sure people do it, but I would consider renting that space out. Sometimes there was enough space for a little microwave and mini fridge, and you can put like they had a shower, maybe put a little table. I mean, you never know. It wouldn't hurt to try, but that's another option for if I was in Kenya and I had an apartment that had a DSQ or like a little extra living space. I would put it on Airbnb and see what happens. So there's so many ways to get started in real estate. There's so many ways you can just make money, and you don't have to be up here to get started. You can start from here and then work your way. And also, I like trying these ways out because you can see what works for you. You might not like being a landlord, so you might want to be, on the Airbnb side, or you might not like the Airbnb side. You might want to be on the midterm rental side, which is what I told you with the nurses. When you rent, your spot for 30 days or longer, you can rent rooms. So there's so many ways you can try and get started and see what works for you. So hope this video help you guys, and like I said, put some comments in the chat. Let me know what you guys think. Like, where would you start? Where do you see yourself getting started? What's a good fit for you? So let me know. And also, please like and subscribe. I appreciate everybody coming back through, checking out my videos. I'll keep making them. If there's something you want to see me make, if there's a particular topic in real estate you want to learn more about, let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next video. I love you. I'm out. Peace.